Good afternoon and welcome to the Public Service Commission of South Carolina. We are here for our weekly commission business meeting. We have rescheduled this meeting to begin at 12 noon because we will be traveling to a night hearing out of town for public comment. Let's take a roll call of commissioners. We have all commissioners present. Commissioner Justin Williams, Vice Chair Powers, Commissioner Thomas, Commissioner Carolee Williams, Commissioner Caston, and Chair Belser. Before we get into our agenda, I invite you to join me for a moment of silent reflection. Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Scarborough.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, Vice Chair Powers, and Commissioners. First item of business is to set the next regularly scheduled business meeting. Staff recommends that the next commission business meeting be set for Thursday, April the 18th, 2024 at 2 p.m.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. We'll set our next business meeting for Thursday, April 18th at 2 p.m.
Today we have 12 items on our utilities agenda and 30 items on the transportation agenda. Item number 1 appears in docket number 2024-56C. This is a joint motion from AT&T Corporation and AT&T Enterprises Incorporated for an expedited ruling on the verified joint application for approval of a merger.
Commissioners, we've heard utilities agenda item 1 is identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Chair Belser.
Vice Chair Powers is recognized.
Thank you. I move the commission grant the motion for expedited ruling and approve the application for approval of merger of AT&T Corporation into the newly formed company called AT&T Enterprises, Inc. The merger will be made transparent to the existing AT&T Corporation customers, and existing customers will continue to receive the same services under the same rates, terms, and conditions. Services will also continue to be backed by the same technical, financial, and managerial resources. The Office of Regulatory Staff does not object to the approval of the application. So moved.
Thank you, Vice Chair Powers. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 2 appears in docket number 2001-132C. This is notice of transfer of control from Hypercube Networks, LLC, doing business as Intrado Communications, LLC.
With regard to utilities agenda item 2, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston is recognized.
I move that the commission accept for filing the notice of transfer of control submitted by Hypercube Networks, LLC, doing business as Intrado Communications, LLC, regarding acquisition of ultimate control of the licensee by 46 Labs.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we will proceed with a vote. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it and the motion carries.
Item number 3 is in docket number 2013-298E. This is the application from Duke Energy Carolinas, LLC, for approval of certain modifications to its Power Share non-residential load curtailment rider.
With regard to utilities agenda item number 3, do I hear a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas is recognized.
I move the commission grant the proposed changes to the Duke Energy Carolinas LLC Power Share Non-Residential Load Curtailment Program. Currently, DEC offers customers with the ability to curtail 100 kilowatt hours of load the option to enter into an agreement to allow DEC to curtail supply to the customer during an emergency situation in exchange for bill credit. The proposed modification will add another option to the existing non-residential load curtailment program, allowing those customers to voluntarily enter into an agreement to be curtailed at a time when DEC has capacity constraints or determines it would be economically beneficial to curtail the customer. I also move that the Commission grant the request for DEC to recover the program cost associated with this program through DEC's approved EEDSM rider pursuant to the approved cost recovery mechanism. The Office of Regulatory Staff does not object to DEC's request to modify its program. As with other programs subject for cost recovery through DEC's EEDSM rider and the approved cost recovery mechanisms, ORS and other parties will be afforded the right and opportunity to review actual costs and make recommendations to the program in subsequent dockets where costs may be examined.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed with a vote. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 4 also is in docket number 2013-298E. This is the application of Duke Energy Carolinas LLC for approval of certain modifications to its residential income qualified energy efficiency and weatherization assistance for individuals program.
With regard to utilities, agenda item 4, do I hear a motion?
Chair Belzer, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams is recognized.
Thank you. I move that the Commission approve the requested modifications to Duke Energy Carolinas LLC's Residential Income Qualified Energy Efficiency and Weatherization Assistance for Individuals program. The proposed changes would bring DEC, Duke Energy Carolinas' existing program more in line with Duke Energy Progress LLC's comparable program by doing the following: expanding the class of customers eligible for the program to include income-qualified renters, in addition to homeowners that occupy existing individually metered single-family residences, multifamily residences, or manufactured homes, requiring HVAC replacement of an electric heating system with a heat pump to have a SEER or SEER rating exceeding federal standards. Increasing the maximum amount of the HVAC replacement payment from $6,000 to $6,500, modifying the maximum amount of the refrigerator replacement payment from $1,080 to $1,000, and clarifying current practice with respect to benefits, attributes, reporting rights, and compliance rights associated with the program. I also move that the Commission grant the request for DEC to recover the program cost associated with this program through DEC's approved energy efficiency demand-side management rider pursuant to the approved cost recovery mechanism. The Office of Regulatory Staff does not object to the proposed modifications. As with other programs subject for cost recovery through DEC's EEDSM rider and the approved cost recovery mechanism, ORS and other parties will be afforded the right and opportunity to review actual cost and make recommendations to the program in subsequent dockets where cost may be examined. And Chair Belzer, I have a few comments at the appropriate
Commissioner
time.
Williams for the motion. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Carol Lee Williams is recognized.
Thank you, Chair Belzer. Generally speaking, the cheapest energy is the energy saved through efficiency. This program extends an existing program to renters that already exists for homeowners. I applaud Duke for this program. As I mentioned in the motion, the Office of Regulatory Staff does not object to this program adjustment. Both ORS, the Office of Regulatory Staff, and the company are apprised of many more of the details of this program than the Commission is, and I appreciate both Duke and ORS's positions on this program. On the other hand, I would not be doing my job in desiring the greatest success of this program if I did not mention the following question. Is written consent of the property owner or landlord received before the tenant is accepted into the program, and is it required? I'm not seeking an answer, but I offer it in the spirit of thoroughness and success. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed signify by saying nay. The ayes have it. The motion passes.
Item number 5 also appears in docket number 2013-298E. This is the application of Duke Energy Carolinas LLC for approval of its residential income qualified power manager load control program.
With regard to utilities agenda item number 5, is there a motion?
Chair Belser, I'd like to make a motion.
Vice Chair Powers is recognized.
Thank you. I move the commission approve Duke Energy Carolina LLC's application for approval of its proposed residential income qualified power manager load control program. The program will provide demand response measures for eligible income qualified customers using 1, a company supplied load control device, or 2, eligible company owned or customer owned thermostats. Through the program, DEC, in exchange for payment of financial incentives, will be able to interrupt service to participants' installed approved electric heat pumps used for cooling and/or approved electric heating source provided primary or backup electric resistance heat. Also move the commission grant the request for DEC to recover the program costs associated with this new program through DEC's approved EEDSM rider pursuant to the approved cost recovery mechanism. I further move the commission find that a hearing is not necessary because the proposed program does not require determination of DEC's entire rate structure and overall rate of return. The Office of Regulatory Staff does not object to approval of the program. As with other programs subject for cost recovery through DEC's EEDSM rider and the approved cost recovery mechanism, ORS and other parties will be afforded the right and opportunity to review applicable costs, net loss revenues, utility incentives, and benefits resulting from the program in accordance with the approved EEDSM mechanism and make recommendations related to the administration and cost recovery in subsequent dockets where costs and benefits may be examined. Chair Belser, that would be my motion, but I too would have comments after the
Thank you,
Yes,
Vice Chair
President.
Powers. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Any discussion? And I recognize Vice Chair Powers.
Thank you. Just to follow up on Commissioner Williams' comments, it just seems there's a real number of programs being introduced and are being introduced for the benefit of ratepayers. One of the things that is a concern is the hope that they are marketed well. I wonder if the tiny bill inserts always are sufficient to allow ratepayers and customers to really understand what's being offered. Seems that with all the advertising that I've seen lately that Duke is doing on television, that this may be a great way to explain and market these programs, and it may be another source of providing ratepayers with information about what's being offered and how it can help both save power and save the amount of their bills. It's just an observation. Certainly, I have no desire to run the company. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Powers. Any further comment? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it and the motion carries.
Item number 6 is in docket number 2016-149E. This is an application from Duke Energy Progress LLC for approval of its residential income qualified EnergyWise load control program.
Commissioners, we've heard utilities agenda item 6 is identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams is recognized.
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission approve Duke Energy Progress LLC's application for approval of its proposed residential income qualified power manager load control program. The program will provide demand response measures for eligible income qualified customers using a company supplied load control device or eligible company owned or customer owned thermostats. Through the program, DEP, in exchange for payment of incentives, financial incentives that is, will be able to interrupt service to participants installed approved electric heat pump used for cooling or approved electric heating source providing primary or backup electric resistance heat. I further move that the commission find that a hearing is not necessary because the proposed program does not require a determination of DEP's entire rate structure or overall rate of return. D, issued notice to its customers via email and U.S. mail. So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Justin Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 7 appears in docket number 2015-310E. This is a request from Dominion Energy South Carolina for approval of the Sixth Amendment to a contract for electric service with Devro Incorporated.
With regard to utilities, agenda item 7, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston is recognized.
I move that the commission approve the Sixth Amendment to contract for electric service between Dominion Energy South Carolina Incorporated and Devro Incorporated for provision of electric service to Devro's facility located on Old Swamp Road, Calhoun County. Office of Regulatory Staff does not object to the amendment to the contract for electric service. I so move.
With regard to utilities, agenda item 7, is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item number 8 is in docket number 2023-391E. This is the application from Duke Energy Progress for approval of its residential income qualified high energy use pilot program.
With regard to utilities, agenda item 8, is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams is recognized.
Madam Chair, fellow commissioners, I move that the commission approve Duke Energy Progress LLC's application for approval of residential income qualified high energy use pilot program without a hearing because the program does not require determination of the company's entire rate structure or overall rate of return. I further move that Duke Energy Progress LLC provide quarterly reports to the commission, ORS, and other parties of record for the duration of the pilot, detailing the following: the number of program participants, the energy efficiency measures installed at each participant's residence, the estimated energy savings associated with each participant's installed measures, and a detailed account of all costs incurred by Duke Energy Progress LLC, including but not limited to program administration, marketing, installed equipment, and installation costs, along with anything else the commission may deem appropriate. Obviously, the commission will put the company on notice if there's something else that they would like the company to track. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Caston.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I will be supporting Commissioner Justin Williams' motion. And I understand that this is a pilot program and ORS has performed a review and has indicated that it does not object to the approval of the application. A benefit, as I see it, to having a hearing, though, is affording commissioners an opportunity to ask questions that may not have been answered upon review of the application or through ORS's letter concerning its review, such as how the EE measures will be implemented, who purchases the one or more measures, who install those measures, who warrants those measures. Is written consent of the property owner or landlord received before the tenant is accepted into the program? Is it required? Are there similarities between this proposed pilot program and other income qualified programs filed by DEP in both South Carolina and North Carolina, as well as the UCT score in each of those programs? Will a cap on maximum expenditures that this pilot incurs be used in addition to the 3-year and 1,000 household caps? I realize that Commissioner J. Williams' motion includes a requirement for quarterly reports, and perhaps some of these questions may be answered in the reports. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Caston. Any further discussion? Commissioner Carolee Williams?
Thank you, Chair Belzer. Thank you, Commissioner Williams, for your motion. I'm going to support it. I want to give a little bit of background for why I'm supporting it. Sometimes the viewing public hears us vote yes or no, but may not appreciate the consternation and the reviewing of the application and other filings in the docket that goes into our decisions. So this will give you a glimpse. On the other hand, I want this program to succeed and flourish and to make an impact for those income qualified customers, lowering their consumption and therefore their cost. And I want to reduce customers' collective peak energy load and avoid or postpone the need for new and expensive energy generation. In other words, I want this program and programs such as this to be successful for both the income qualified participants and for all customers. I applaud Commissioner Caston for listing out some of the questions that occurred to him during the review of this application. We are all curious commissioners. We all want the best outcomes for all involved. I agree that these questions are important. However, given our regulatory function and the record before us in this case, I think these questions are beyond our scope from a requirement perspective. But we're curious and we want to share our curiosity with you all. On the other hand, these questions may be well understood by the company, by ORS, and the stakeholders who helped to develop this program. If they are not, I believe Commissioner Caston offered them in the spirit of creating the most successful residential income qualified high energy use pilot for the participants, all customers, and the company. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Any further discussion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Justin Williams.
thank you for recognizing me. You know, I almost feel compelled to say something.
Well, if you don't, I am.
I appreciate the support of the motion. I think that the utility is doing all that it can to provide options for its customers, including low-income customers, to help save on the energy bill. I look forward to reviewing the program at the appropriate time. While I don't have the same questions or concerns as my colleagues, there's nothing wrong, I imagine, with asking questions and getting more information. But based on my review and based on my understanding of the programs and what they hope to do, I think we will get those answers in due time. So I appreciate the support for the motion. Thank you.
And Commissioner Williams, I'm supporting your motion too. I think that upon my review of the application, I think that the application comports with both the statutes governing EEDSM programs as well as the commission orders on those, including I think it was Order 2021 33 that revised the recovery mechanism, and I find that in my review that these not only this one but the prior ones that we voted on have met the requirements of our orders and the statutes, and that's the reason I'm supporting it as well. As a pilot program, that I think one of the parties had indicated that this was an innovative program, so it'll be quite interesting to see how effective this program may be, and we will get those results through the EM&V reports as well as quarterly reports that we're asking for in your motion. So I'm happy to support your motion as well. Any further comments? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and the motion carries.
Item number 9 is in docket number 2024-109E. This is a request from Duke Energy Progress, LLC for confidential treatment of certain portions of its application for a certificate of environmental compatibility and public convenience and necessity.
With regard to utilities, agenda item 9, is there a motion?
Chair Belser, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams is recognized.
Thank you. I move that the Commission grant Duke Energy Progress, LLC's request for confidential treatment of certain portions of the application.
Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Madam Chair, the Commission can address items 10 through 12, all of which involve power purchase agreements together. Item number 10 is in docket number 2024-101E. This is a request for acceptance for filing of the power purchase agreement between Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Northbrook Carolina Hydro LLC, specifically the Boyd's Mill Hydro Facility, and a request for confidential treatment of certain portions of the agreement. Item number 11 is in docket number 2024-102E. This is a request for acceptance of filing of the power purchase agreement between Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Northbrook Carolina Hydro LLC, specifically the Holidays Bridge Hydro Facility, and a request for confidential treatment of certain portions of the agreement. Item number 12 appears in docket number 2024-103E. This is a request for acceptance of filing of the power purchase agreement between Duke Energy Carolinas LLC and Northbrook Carolina Hydro LLC, specifically the Saluda Hydro Facility, and a request for confidential treatment of certain portions of the agreement.
Commissioners, we've heard the items identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas is recognized.
I move that the commission accept for filing the power purchase agreements as listed by Mr. Scarborough in utility agenda items 10 through 12. I further move that the commission grant the request for confidential treatment of certain portions of those agreements in utility items 10 through 12 listed by Mr. Scarborough. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it and the motion carries.
Madam Chair, that completes the utilities agenda before the commission. Moving on to the motor carrier agenda, in Part A, we have 18 requests for new Class C certificates and 2 requests for new Class E certificates.
Check the number.
Sorry. Oh,
I'm showing 20 on my agenda.
yes, ma'am, that's true. I've got 18 Class Cs and
Okay,
2 Class
I'm
Es. Yep,
sorry.
I broke them down.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
apologize.
No worries, no worries. Always good to have a check.
Only when it's right.
Item A1 appears in docket number 2024-82T, which is the application of Spiritual Hands Transportation LLC for a Class C stretcher van certificate. Item A2 is in docket number 2024-83T, which is an application from Otis Johnson, doing business as Yellow Cab Private Company, for a Class C taxi certificate. Item A3 is in docket number 2024-87T. This is the application of 19th Hole Taxi and Shuttle LLC for a Class C taxi certificate. Item A4 is in docket number 2024-88T. This is the application of MB Cabs LLC for a Class C taxi certificate. Item A5 is in docket number 2024-90T. This is the application of Troy Hudson, doing business as a Trips Taxi for a Class C taxi certificate. Item A6 is in docket number 2024-92T. This is the application of KT Destiny Center Incorporated for a Class C charter bus certificate. Item A7 is in docket number 2024-84T. This is the application of Thomas Justice, doing business as Drive Pros for a Class C charter certificate. Item A8 is in docket number 2024-93T. This is the application of Sereni Gale Medical Transport LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item A9 appears in docket number 2024-94T, which is the application of John Lutz, doing business as Lutz Low Country Transporter for a Class C charter certificate. Item A10 is in docket number 2024-95T, which is the application of Juliet Smith for a Class C taxi certificate. Item A11 is in docket number 2024-98T. This is the application of George C. McLean Jr. for a Class C taxi certificate. Item A12 is in docket number 2024-100T. This is the application of Craig L. Anderson, doing business as State Taxi for a Class C taxi certificate. Item A13 is in docket number 2024-105T, which is the application of Kingdom Streets Transportation Services, LLC, for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item A14 is in docket number 2024-107T, which is the application of Serenity Day Program, LLC, for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item A15 is in docket number 2024-108T, which is the application of McNair Logistics, LLC, for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item A16 is in docket number 2024-110T. This is the application of Mokioran Transport LLC for a Class C non-emergency certificate. Item A17 is in docket number 2024-111T, which is the application of Fredrina White or Frankie White or Kelvin Brown for a Class C charter certificate. Item A18 is in docket number 2024-117T. This is the application of Scudo Drivers LLC for a Class C charter certificate. Item A19 is in docket number 2024-79T. This is the application of Day by Day Errands Services LLC, doing business as Next Move for a Class E household goods certificate. And finally, item A20 is in docket number 2024-106T, which is the application of Two Twigs Moving Greenville LLC for a Class E household goods certificate.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. Commissioners, we've heard agenda items A1 through A20 on the motor carrier agenda. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair.
Commissioner Justin Williams.
Madam Chair, I move that the commission approve the applications for Class C and Class E certificates in items number A1 through A20 as listed by Mr. Scarborough. So moved.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Justin Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it and the motion carries.
In Part B of the transportation agenda, we have two requests for extensions of time. Item B1 appears in docket number 2023-384T. This is a request from Bulat Enterprises LLC for a 9-month extension of time to comply with Commission rules and regulations.
With regard to motor carrier agenda item B1, is there a motion?
Chair Belser.
Vice Chair Powers is recognized.
Thank you, Chair Belser. I move the commission grant the request of Bueller Enterprises LLC for an extension of time until December 13th, 2024 to comply with commission rules and regulations. Should the company fail to come into compliance by December 13th, 2024, the company may file a new application. So move.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
Item B2 appears in docket number 2023-306T. This is a request from Elite Moving and Installation LLC for an additional 6-month extension of time to comply with Commission rules and regulations.
With regard to agenda item B2 of the motor carrier agenda, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Caston is recognized.
I move that the commission grant the request of Elite Moving and Installation LLC for a 6-month extension of time until September 27th, 2024 to comply with commission rules and regulations.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Caston. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed signify by saying nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
In Part C of the transportation agenda, we have 4 requests for reinstatement of certificates. Items C1 and C2 can be taken together. Item C1 appears in docket number 2015-59T. This is a request from Eric C. Cook for reinstatement of Class C taxi certificate number 9033. And item C2 is in docket number 2018-18T, which is a request from Jeanette Fullard for reinstatement of Class C taxi certificate number 9341.
With regard to motor carrier agenda items C1 and C2, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas is recognized.
I move that the commission approve the requests for reinstatement in item numbers C1 and C2 as listed by Mr. Scarborough. The grants of reinstatement are contingent upon the motor carrier being current on any outstanding fees and also being in compliance with all rules and regulations of the commission as determined by the Office of Regulatory Staff.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a voice vote. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, the motion carries.
Item C3 is in docket number 2020-199T. This is a request from Marion McDowell for reinstatement of Class C taxi certificate number 9547.
With regard to motor carrier agenda item C3, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas?
I move that the commission deny the request of Marion McDowell for reinstatement of Class C taxi certificate number 9547. The motor carrier may file a new application for a Class C taxi certificate with the commission.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Commissioner Thomas, I'm supporting your motion. It's mine, looking at the records, that this certificate was canceled in July of 2021, and that is so remote. I agree that a new application would be needed for a certificate, so thank you for the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a voice vote. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it, the motion carries.
Item C4 is in docket number 2020-48T. This is a request from Rogers Moving Specialist, LLC, for reinstatement of Class E household goods certificate number 9875.
With regard to motor carrier agenda item C4, is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Thomas?
I move that the commission grant the request of Rogers Moving Specialist, LLC, for reinstatement of Class E household goods certificate number 9875. This grant of reinstatement is contingent upon the motor carrier providing proof of insurance and also being in compliance with all rules and regulations of the commission as determined by the Office of Regulatory Staff.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Thomas. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a voice vote. All in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, signify by saying nay. The ayes have it. The motion carries.
In Part D of the Transportation Agenda, we have two requests to amend applications. Item D1 is in docket number 2024-24T. This is a request from Black Lab Cab, LLC, to amend its application for a Class C charter certificate to read Old Village Transportation, LLC.
With respect to agenda item D1, is there a motion?
Chair Belser?
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams is recognized.
Thank you. I move that the commission grant the request of Black Lab Cab LLC to amend their Class C charter certificate application to read Old Village Transportation LLC.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carol Lee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and the motion carries.
In Part E of the Transportation Agenda, we have two requests to amend certificates. Item E1 appears in docket number 2006-395T, which is a request from On The Go Deliveries Incorporated to amend Class E household goods certificate number 9761 to read On The Go Designer Deliveries, Inc.
Commissioners, we've heard agenda item E1 of the motor carrier agenda identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair,
Commissioner Caston?
I move that the commission grant the request of On The Go Deliveries Incorporated to amend their Class E household goods certificate number 9761 to read On The Go Designer Deliveries. I so move.
Commissioners, we've heard the motion of Commissioner Caston. Commissioner Caston, would you accept a friendly amendment? I think there needed to be an Inc. Incorporated added after the name, so amendment to read On The Go Designer Deliveries, Inc.
Yes, Madam Chair, you're correct. Yes.
Well, okay. You accept that amendment, friendly amendment?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Commissioners, Any discussion on the amended motion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to voice vote. All in favor of the amended motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and the motion carries.
Item E2 is in dockets numbered 2000, I'm sorry, that's not correct. Item E2 is in docket number 2015-93T. This is a request from Timmy Hayes Moving LLC to amend Class E Household Goods Certificate number 9818 to read statewide authority.
With regard to motor carrier, agenda item E2 is identified by Mr. Scarborough. Is there a motion?
Chair Belser, I have a motion.
Vice Chair Powers is recognized.
I move the commission grant the request of Timmy Hayes Moving LLC to amend their Class C household goods certificate number 9818 to read statewide authority.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Vice Chair Powers. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a voice vote. All in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, and the motion carries.
In Part F of the transportation agenda, we have one request to suspend a certificate. Item F1 appears in docket number 2023-277T. This is a request from Faybay Transport LLC to suspend Class C non-emergency certificate number 9888 for 3 months.
With regard to motor carrier, agenda item F1, is there a motion?
Chair Belser, I'd like to make a motion.
Commissioner Carol Lee Williams is recognized.
Thank you. I move that the commission grant the request of Faybay Transport LLC to suspend its Class C non-emergency certificate for number 9888 for 3 months until June 21st, 2024.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioners, we've heard the motion from Commissioner Carol Lee Williams. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a roll call vote, starting with, excuse me, well, so used to saying roll call. We will conduct a voice vote. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Hearing none, the ayes have it, and the motion carries.
Madam Chair and Commissioners, this concludes all business noticed before the Commission today.
Thank you, Mr. Scarborough. As previously indicated, our next Commission business meeting will be scheduled now for Thursday, April 18th at 2 p.m. And I wish everyone a good afternoon, and with that, we are adjourned. Thank you.